Okay, now let's vector off into your philanthropic work and can you describe some of the early philanthropic work and then your journey in the philanthropy side to where you are today? So, maybe some of the early projects and how that advised you into subsequent projects and causes, and now it's forming you today, and then where you wish that side of you to go into the future.
Yeah, thank you. I suppose one of the earlier projects that I got involved with was when I was quite young, designing a yacht for um, uh, the option of having a, a quadriplegic be able to sail the yacht themselves. I met with one of our greatest yachtsmen in England called Jeff Holt. He's quadriplegic, incredible yachtsman. He sailed around the United Kingdom. He sailed a transatlantic by himself. And we chatted, and I designed a concept yacht for him. And I think through that, we then realized I have a lot of passion to support different charities. And then I got involved with Sailability, which is one of the charities that he helped start up. Also, his other charity called Wet Wheels, which allowed people who are in a wheelchair to get on board boats and enjoy the water and get out of doors. And so I suppose that's one of the earlier charities that I got involved with long before sort of graduating. But then, yes, through the years, it's particularly the inflation and, and different charities that I'm thrilled to be a part of and helping to advise and connect the dots again. So one is a charity called the Queen's Commonwealth Trust in London. They do extraordinary work around the world, around the Commonwealth. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II set up this charity in 2018, and they find extraordinary young social entrepreneurs around the world and go in to give them support, advice, help, whether it's fiscal or legal or other things, but basically to help ensure that a great charity becomes sustainable. Because obviously every fledgling charity has its hiccups along the way. And so it's wonderful when they find these extraordinary young social entrepreneurs. One example is someone that was flown in from Zambia on board one of our yachts. So this yacht behind me called Eternity. She's 65 meters, 213 feet. And we flew in this young social entrepreneur who founded a charity that so far has saved 13,000 kids from being trafficked. The most extraordinary charity in Zambia. They're doing so much. And it's so rewarding when I can fill a room, whether it's a yacht or a room in a palace or a room in the United Nations, and bring the philanthropists, the donors, and those that want to support great people, great young social entrepreneurs or charities, and off they go and do some great things together. That's one example. And it's very harrowing because this extraordinary person who's founded this charity, she herself was trafficked by her own father. So it's the most awful hell on earth that she was in. But for her to then escape and then set up this charity has really allowed her to save so many. And so I love to support those types of charities. There's another charity in India and Kenya and Uganda. They help for less than one child, so for less than $1 per child for a whole year, they can provide an education. And of course, it's that ripple effect again, where yes, you're supporting one child, but if they're coming out as a doctor or an architect after the graduation when they're older, you're then also lifting that whole family and generationally that family out of poverty. And so what I love to do is to really look at the sort of bigger picture, perhaps the holistic approach where you teach someone to fish, you don't just give them a fish to eat. And I think that sort of sustainable model works really well. I've also been pleased to support various anti-human trafficking organizations and charities. Some are doing wonderful work again to support in those areas. And yeah, the list goes on. Often I find just through conversation, I'll meet a client who maybe charters a yacht a couple of times, and through the relationship, I've realized they've got their own family foundation. And so then I can invite some of my other clients to their fundraisers, which I'm doing tomorrow, actually. I've been invited to Washington, D.C. and to the Senate, where I'm coming to support a charity to help opioid addiction, to help stop opioid addiction and to help with teenagers. So it's those types of conversations. I love to, again, join the dots and do what I can, because philanthropists are not agnostic to one charity or one cause. It's really fun when I can meet somebody at an ocean conservation charity event, but then invite them to the United Nations the next time. And I can help multiply and support different organizations and causes just through these relationships.
Because you're such you've got this really great history of impact and sustainability, but also you're amongst the best in the world, if not the best in the world in the yacht space. And people in that space, a lot of them have financial capability, but they also have sustainability in their mindset and so on. So you'll then get invites, right? I'm hosting this event. And by the way, do you know of anybody else who'd be interested in supporting this or something like that, right? And so you must get a constant influx of people saying, you know what, Alistair, I need your help. How do you manage that?
That's funny. I suppose I do. The other day, I suppose it was a year ago now, but one of my clients told me, he said, Alistair, you're a super connector. And I love that phrase, but it's probably quite accurate. I love to super connect, and I'm always thinking about who could I introduce this person to? What person could help with their impact investment or their for-profit organization? So it's not just on the non-profit, it's not just philanthropy, it's not just for profit. I sort of have a web of connections across the globe, and I love to support and help wherever I can. And I feel like that's one of the most rewarding parts of my day when I can introduce one philanthropist to another. They're both trying to end human trafficking in different parts of the world. Then off they go and share best practices and multiply the good. So it's a real sort of force for good for the entrepreneur who wants to give back. And I just help facilitate those introductions. I don't know how or why, but it's just the way my brain and my memory work. I can sort of pluck names and people out of my past to then help support each other going forward that people would otherwise never have met. But I'm in this unique seat and privileged seat where I get to build these trusted relationships with the yachting enthusiasts from so many diverse different industries, different backgrounds, different regions. And it's really fun when I can put them together and I can go and see and off they go and do some great philanthropic work or impact investment work together.